All right. Hello. I see Jen's head is wiggling, so that means we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome
That,
back to
that
The
is in fact how it
Between.
works.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Um, we return to The Between. We also are at full strength again. Lamia is back after being in nature for a while everything kind of went the way it goes. It's all fine. Anyway, before we go back in, yeah, just short round of introductions. I'm Yanis, he, him, the GM. You might have also seen me yesterday on Help Action Needed for a session of Grimwild, where we also willed Victorian England into existence because Sean, the channel owner, just decided that the best character to play in a post apocalyptic fantasy setting is somebody who's from real life Victorian era England.
I have so many questions.
You can't escape.
I
Victorian
too,
England
but
follows you.
I have no answers. There are no answers, I think. I'm not sure. Ask Sean. Anyway, yeah, I'm GMing this here today too. That's all I have to say. And I'm going to popcorn it over to the gloriously returned Lamia.
Hi, I'm Lamia. I'm apparently the glue that holds this shit together because the wheels fell off last week. I'm playing Leander, who I guess is Team Daddy. He uses he, him pronouns. My pronouns are they, them. And I guess we're teaching Nolani how to flirt this session. So I'm going to pass it to you.
I would like you to focus on achievable goals today.
Yeah.
Hey!
Dang.
What the fuck?
Nolani catching strays. Holy shit.
That wasn't a stray, that was targeted.
That was a direct attack.
Hi, I'm Ren or Renegade Dumpling. I use they them pronouns. I am playing our sapphic disaster Noelani Astoria Clements, she her pronouns, and I can flirt. I can, I promise.
Sure can.
I was focusing on not getting eaten, which
Well, I
of
feel
the
like in a
person that-
sapphic romance, getting eaten should be kind of like a goal, but
speaking of not getting eaten, the person that brought us into that spider's den, Jen.
hi, I'm Jen. My pronouns are they, she. I'll be playing your friendly local Ash Penhallow, pronouns they, them, who is a changeling that's just doing their goddamn best. And with that, popcorning over to Elliot.
Hi, my name is Elliot. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Arexi, who uses she, her pronouns. And despite being the one facing the vampires, has been eaten the least, I think, out of the people who were here not yesterday, last week. That could change. I could be eaten by vampires this week.
I mean, look, maybe vampire bites don't affect non-binary people either.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, our kind of status report for today is first, what we've got coming up is the fourth day. Also, that means the fourth night scene. When a threat has been active for 5 night scenes without being resolved, terrible things happen. So we currently have a situation at the docks where a guardian spirit is committing a few murders here and there. Yeah, that situation will in some way escalate in 2 days in game. So if you want to just, not frantically scramble to solve it next session, today would be a day to do that. Also, Noelani, who can flirt, is mesmerized by a fey creature, and Nolani and not Jen, Ash also invited, carried a few spiders who are now spying on Hargrave House back home with them.
Spiders, if you will.
Yeah. Spiders. Yeah, okay. All of that is happening, but first thing we see, I think, is going to be Arexi. First light, first train back to London. How is Araxi feeling after another night of vampire hunting?
I definitely feel worse today. It's very obvious that last night, even for Araxi, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm leaning against the window, the glass kind of pressed against my face. I'm holding the my halberd is in a container that looks like a guitar case, probably something like an instrument case of some kind, and I'm kind of holding onto it, white knuckled grip. When I do have to stand up and walk and exit the train, I'm walking with a probably pretty noticeable limp.
Hmm. Yes. So you have been hurt, but also as you exit the train in London, something feels different. And that brings us to your special playbook rule. So we'll figure out what it is that has changed here that makes definitely your skin crawl a little bit. And I think you need to handle this because
Well, I
yeah.
think technically the
Right.
other hunters do.
All right, yeah. um so I think what should be done is you ask the
Yes.
others, right? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I basically, whenever I mark my hunts, I'm playing the legacy. Whenever I mark something called my hunt, I ask another player to describe what I find that tells me that I'm one step closer to finding the beast. These clues should be very small or subtle, a feeling, a scent, a shadow, or something in the air. I'm gonna go down my list on my little camera thing, and Lamia, do you want to give me a vibe, something that I sense as I step off the train?
Yeah. The last time you were here, you had the scent of the sea and the river in your nose, just water, because we'd been at the docks. But now getting off, it's strange because it smells earthy.
I take that in. That's definitely not what I would expect, especially not in a hub of a train station in the middle of London. There's not much nature to sense or to smell like that kind of earth. Ren, do you want to give me something else that I feel?
So every so often there are, I want to say, tremors, things that most of the other people around you are probably not noticing, like a little shake in the ground, but the animals, like the rats or any stray animals wandering around the streets, sort of look down every time one of them happens to pass under your feet, raise their hackles, and skitter off in one direction or another.
Definitely don't like that. And Jen, as I'm making my last couple blocks back to the house, what's the last thing that I sense?
I think there is a route that you normally take from the train to the house, but something pulls you in a different direction. And maybe you don't know whether that is pulling you towards something or pushing you away from something, but you do feel the urge to go in a different direction than you normally do. So you take a different route.
As any good monster hunter, anyone who's lived long enough to survive a couple of hunts, I know sometimes I have to trust my gut instinct, and so when I feel that urge to go a different route, I do, even if I'm not quite sure why. And I return to the house, which
Mhm.
is apparently infested by spiders now.
Not that
We'll
we know
get
it.
to that
How do we
in
know
a
it?
yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But first, Nolani, tonight you dream of the seamstress. What do you see in your dream?
I feel like she would see herself walking to the seamstress's shop, middle of the night, streets are empty, the store is unlocked. Um, can't look at the chat. um, and she makes her way to the back room, but it's different than how it was when she and Ash went earlier in the night. It's kind of more like a burrow or a darkened tunnel, and she just hears something calling for her, so she just follows it.
Yes. And when you awaken, you will follow it again. Unless, of course, you get to clear your condition of being mesmerized by the seamstress at any point, which maybe that's advisable. I don't know. Maybe you want to follow the spider's song and dreams and all of that. Speaking of spiders, Ash,
Yes.
I think Ash, your room is on the upper floor of Hargrave House.
Yes, because I have this habit of sitting on roofs and looking out at the city in contemplative edginess.
Yes, of course. Is that what you're doing right now, or are you sleeping?
I think I'm sleeping. I am on edge after my and Noelani's encounter with the seamstresses, shall we say, assistants. And I, as much as I want to keep an eye out and look for them in the streets following us, I am more nervous about them seeing me, and that is overriding my desire to see them.
Right. Would it be safe to say that your sleep is fairly light then?
It is generous, yes.
Yeah. Which means you notice it exactly when something lands in the bed next to you. You open your eyes, and it's it's Luna.
Oh, baby. Wait, is she
Yeah.
alive?
She's alive. She's alive. I would have said that a lot differently if no. The cat is alive, and I will never kill your cat in this game. Come on.
Okay, so I will just go, oh, hi, baby.
Mhm.
And I'll give her a little scritchy.
Oh. Luna starts purring, opens her mouth, and drops something in front of you.
What you got? I'll take a
It
look at
is
what she's got.
a
Is it a dead
spider.
spider? Yeah, it's a dead spider.
A spider much bigger than it really should be. And it is in its final death throes. It is kind of, when a spider dies, the limbs just do.
The twitching.
Yeah, exactly that. They're twitching.
And the curling.
Mhm.
I will like very gingerly pick it up by one leg and just uh-oh. And I will kind of like rush straight to Noelani's room.
No,
And
like not in there.
without stopping to wait, I also proceed to Leander's room and Araxi's room. I'm knocking on everyone's doors.
Yeah, Leander isn't back yet, but Araxi might be walking in right now.
I'm just picturing Araxi coming up the stairs and just seeing Ash knocking on their door, knocking on her door.
Like, Nolani, you said something?
She's not in there. She's not in her room.
Oh, okay.
She's in another room in the house, but she's not in her room.
Okay, right.
Araxi, I open the front door and I hear, there's banging happening like in the upper floors and everything, and I'm like, "Is everything all right? What's happening in here?"
Araxi,
I'm downstairs.
you just hear like the thudding of footsteps, and you see Ash just like pump 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 down the stairs with like a giant spider pinched, like dangling by one leg from their fingers.
The hell is that? It's a spider?
It's a spy.
Dirt.
What happened last? Where are the others? We should.
Leander's just gone. I don't know where Leander is.
Speaking of, I was
Noelani,
just going to say, at this point, Leander, how do you feel after your extended stay at the hospital as a volunteer doctor?
I feel incredibly unpaid. The police are one thing, getting roped into helping with other things while trying to simply get details about any dock workers who have brought in. Exhausting. But I have some leads, so not a complete loss, so I can't be too terribly upset. I did somewhat put myself in that situation.
Right. Well, that is a very unsatisfactory thing to happen to you, and now you are coming back to Hargrave House. You enter it, and gathered all together now, I would say, are Araxi, Noelani, and Ash discussing what appears to be the carcass of an oversized spider.
I
So
feel
let me
like
get
Ash
this
is in the.
straight.
I feel like Ash is in the middle of saying just like, well, hey Noelani, Araxi, I don't know where Leander is. Leander is just missing. Oh, Leander's right there. Come here, Leander.
Hard. Yes. What is
That's a spider.
on the table?
It.
That is
Where
disgusting.
else? We have to. Okay, look. While you were off, well, I don't want to say playing doctor, but while you were off being a doctor, while you were off being a doctor, Noelani and I went on a little. Well, Noelani, Araxi, and I went on a quick field trip to investigate what appeared to be a victim of a vampire. Turned out it was probably a vampire and also a demon spider lady. Noelani and I went to see her, like the very smart individuals that we are.
Oh joy.
And while Ash gives Leander this entire rundown of what happened the day you were gone, Leander, you find it hard to concentrate. You get odd kind of chills now and then. And then at some point, while Ash is talking, and I assume Nolani and Araxi are also filling in a few details, you hear a sound. I'm just at. You're not sure. It sounds like somebody is knocking on the wall somewhere. Just a knock, knock, knock. It could also be you feel something like when you're taking a hammer from your doctor's bag and just, knock on a knee or a skull or something. There's always this rhythmic knocking.
I think Leander tries to continue to listen, but is looking around the room slightly, just with his eyes, trying to pinpoint it before he reacts to anything. But I feel as though he might have slipped his hand into his doctor's bag while he is trying to figure out what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Leander, I don't think you should use your tools on the spider.
What?
Well, isn't that what you're doing? Going for tools?
Not. I'm not a veterinarian.
I don't think any veterinarian would touch this.
Right. So, the things you all have been
Hi,
Up
Raiders!
to is was
And
there knocking, like sound?
as you say this, Leander, you hear it again, and this time you're even colder than before. It is freezing, and then you hear a voice.
Welcome home, Doctor.
Leander, is everything all right?
Did you just welcome yourself home? With ventriloquy?
Did everyone hear that or just me? Uh-oh. Did everyone hear that or just me?
I said just
Yeah.
Leander, but I don't
Oh,
care,
never mind.
honestly.
Sorry. Okay. Leander hears that and looks at, just visibly flinches. I need to get something from my room. And turns to go downstairs.
Oh,
What is
Oh.
so important? All right.
Well,
we have to check for
I-
spiders.
I
be that
don't
as
care.
it may.
That voice is that's familiar voice,
Oh, yeah.
right?
It is very familiar. It is, a previous resident of Hargrave
Yeah.
House who was in here just before you, then vanished under circumstances.
Yeah, I'd like to go down to my room and just casually after I've closed the door, not terribly quietly, what the fuck do you want?
There's nothing more. Whatever answers you wish to hear from this presence, you will not get them today. But between the spider, between Arexi picking up odd things on her way back, it is clear that perhaps Hargrave House is not the same safe haven that you hoped it would be for all of you anymore. And that's when we'll actually start our day phase. Or rather, well, you select your dawn questions and then we'll begin the investigation for today.
Woo!
Yeah,
Everything is fine.
everything
Uh,
is wonderful.
There is no Warren Bussing
Perfectly
say.
all right.
Right.
Perfectly fine.
I think I'm fine with my dawn questions.
Do you still have the licking one?
No, I've.
Okay, good.
We have to phrase it like that. I'm keeping poorly made plans and reveling in the thrill of the hunt because those seem pretty sure shots right now.
All right, good.
We make terrible plans, so it's a really easy for me to say that.
All right. Well, Hargrave House doesn't seem particularly safe to you right now. But there are also dangers to confront outside of it. Most pressing is the one at the docks. But you also have other options. And I will say, specifically for Nolani, You really want to go and see the seamstress so badly. If you opt not to do it, I will occasionally prompt you to roll a move so you don't just pack up and leave and just go to the seamstress. Until you clear that fucking condition, of course, which is just in your way right now. But what is everybody doing?
I'd like to answer a question.
All right, where are we at? Are we still in Hargrave House or are you all going somewhere together?
I'm
I'm
inclined to
imag-
say we should go to the docks.
Yes, I'm imagining we're in the house planning our next move at Rex. I'll be like, also, last night I encountered more vampires, and I think I have some answers about them.
Oh God! All right. Well, here's the
So
thing:
what
we
happened to your
can't.
leg?
Though that's part of my encounter with some vampires.
Well, here's
Are
the thing: we can't.
all of you injured? All of you.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
Not physically.
I was gone for one day.
I got
I
attacked
was
by
already-
two vampires, Doc. What do you think's gonna happen?
One, I was already injured when you left. Two, we cannot deal with threats on three fronts. We have Wet God from the shore, we have this spider woman, and we have vampires. We have to.
To be quite fair, Ash, your face didn't look like that.
To remind our audience, Ash got bit by a spider, and so now there's just like pus or something, right? Like
There's that on one half, and other side of the face is just got kicked in. First session.
Ash is having a rough day.
Mm.
All right. I need to go back to the hospital to follow up on a lead. However, it seems as though you all also need to go to the hospital. So perhaps that first.
All right, but then the docks. I want to figure out. I want to at least wrap up this Wet God nonsense.
once we get that solved, I think we should focus on the hive of vampires that's currently terrorizing a small community.
All right. Well, we can bicker over which to do second, but for now we should hospital and docks.
Hospital and docks.
Well, you are at the hospital then. Leander, you're just greeted somewhat informally at this point. You've been around here for the last day and night, essentially.
Yeah.
Dr. Prescott, I have gathered. Well, I have looked into a few records as you requested, and there isn't really much I could find. However, there was a sailor that was referred to us, has since checked himself out, was referred to us by a certain Martin Gallagher, a former priest, who occasionally, well, he tries to do good by the poor people of the docks and occasionally brings people to us. And apparently he brought somebody here who just rose out of the water one day. And
Oh.
obviously there are, risks of pneumonia for once, but also the contamination of the body by whatever is in that river.
Of course. Not to mention inhalation. Yes.
Yes.
Obvious risks. Continue.
Yes. Well, that is what I have to say, truly. If you wish to find Martin, he will quite easily be found, I believe, in. Well, he's usually looking for lost souls in an establishment called the Blackadder by the docks.
Ah, yes. I know the place. Thank you. And if you will ensure that I've brought a few people in, if you could uh assist, have a couple of nurses help me. It looks like we have some sort of an insect bite and an injured leg.
Well, certainly. I must say we had a few. Well, never mind. Sure. I will
A few what?
fetch you. Oh, there has been a bit of a commotion and a bit of a run-in between some workers and members of the police. So we
Hmm.
have a few wounded in today, but never mind. There's
Have
certainly a
someone
nurse.
see have someone see to my companions. I will go talk with some of the wounded workers.
As you wish. So the rest of you are seen to by a nurse in an overcrowded hospital room. I will not roleplay the nurse. The nurse is just doing what she needs to treat you physically, but that is not actually going to solve anything mechanically for you. You need to
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
vulnerable move for your condition.
I
So
think.
for everybody
Uh,
else, and
mhm.
also you, like the vulnerable move means when you have an intimate moment with another hunter, while one of you is engaged in their vice, we'll need to figure out how you bring that in here. But I mean, one of them is kleptomania, so
I was gonna say I am going to look for something with the color green in it and snatch it.
yeah, you know what? This is dangerous because you're in a hospital.
Oh yeah,
If you get caught, yeah, it's dangerous in the sense of I'm gonna make you roll for it, but you're gonna get an actual item out of it if you succeed.
I'll take it. Yeah.
So that's going to be a day move. I think the best roll here would be composure.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't like it, but you're right. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
You know? Okay.
I was
Okay.
gonna. Oh, yeah, you roll.
7.
Well, what is the worst that you think could happen here?
I get caught.
Yes, okay, right. Sure.
I don't know what you were expecting me to say.
The consequence of getting caught, but anyway. Um, you do get caught. You get caught grabbing a green bottle. Usually, what you're getting here is in brown bottles, but you see a nice green bottle of laudanum. You pocket it. You reach for another, and then the nurse comes back in after just fetching some bandages for you. Again, hand in the opioids, which is not the best look. And care to tell me what you're doing there?
Oh, I was looking for water. Totally
Do
straight
you
face.
think water usually comes in bottles such as this?
I mean, this is a hospital. A lot of things come in very different containers.
Please.
Do you have any water that I can
Should I go
drink?
to a doctor and then inform them that you were trying to, while of course looking for water, that you accidentally found some laudanum?
I mean, you can. That won't change the fact that I'm thirsty. Kitty.
Come on now. I can either get a doctor right now and you will be at least removed from this hospital, or maybe you can tell me what you can do for me to forget this.
Can I? Oh, I'm gonna regret this later. Um, can I use Touch of Glamour to put this fucker to sleep?
Yes. However, Araxi and Nolani are in the room. So yeah,
Um,
you can.
If this changes anything, I was going to invoke my vice by starting to drink and like have a vulnerable moment with Nolani to try to
I
cure my
think
condition. So like
we're kind of committed to this
Yeah,
already.
I mean, yeah, I think I would take a look at what Arexia and Nolani are doing.
Mm.
And if possible, try and do it subtly. But if there isn't a way to do it subtly,
Okay, yeah. Actually, we see right in this room, which however is pretty crowded. There are well, right now, just to give you a safe opportunity to put your glamour on, I will say it's just you in here. Um, what are Araxi and Nolani talking about then at this moment?
it was really just a foolish mistake. I know better than that. Honestly, my parents are probably rolling in the grave having seen my performance yesterday.
The reason you go alone.
It's dangerous. You're not trained. You'd probably just get in my way. No offense. You're very capable of doing many things. Things that I can't even do. But have you ever even been in a fight before, Nalani?
Mm, with my brothers, yes, but I am the youngest, so it's not much of a fight. It's more throw the baby into a room and lock it.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that they locked you in rooms often? Was it a
No,
test?
no. I don't you don't have siblings.
No, my parents are completely infertile. That's why they adopted me.
Meanwhile, Ash,
mm-hmm.
do you want to
Yeah, yeah, make
glamour?
my
Yeah,
make my sensitivity roll
I think it would be, yeah.
as my eyes start to glow just a little bit. And I
With
roll a
Araxi, yeah.
total of 12.
Okay.
Nighty night,
All
bitch.
right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, God's not here.
Mhm.
Wet God is always here.
I was going to say, if Araxi and Nolani weren't locked in their conversation, they would also see that some gossamer wings have formed on your back, but they don't see it. So,
Also, I'm going to open the second bottle of laudanum and leave it in this nurse's hand, because she needs to appear unreliable and untrustworthy because
yes, sure. This nurse is now out of it for a moment.
I'll just smoothly leave.
Yeah,
And on the way,
she's
just
just
kind
going
of
to walk off, laudanum dripping on the floor. And you realize that there are records that she has left behind.
Yay.
Oh yeah. Um, these records are going to, well, I'm not going to detail too much what they actually say because I want to leave up a few things for your interpretation, but they will function as a clue. And they detail essentially that a sailor who was brought in connection with the happenings at the docks was honestly uncharacteristically hale and healthy, but seemed to have developed a very disturbing superstition tied to the sea. Anyway, all of you can clear a single condition. Leander.
Yes. I am going to go talk to one of the people who got in the altercation, one of the workers specifically. If I can find if there's one that has a bracelet, them.
Oh, right, yeah. Sure. You see one looking up to you, glowering expression, fairly young,
Mhm.
wearing very poor clothing, but a stylish cap. Just, tries to look perhaps a bit wealthier than he as a dock worker really is.
Mhm. Can I already see what's injured on him walking up or no?
Yes, you can. His his arm is in a kind of improvised cast.
Hmm.
It appears to have been broken by just force in some way.
Looks like a nasty break. How are you feeling? I'm gonna set down my bag and start to get to work on his arm.
Feeling like some asshole Bobby beat me up.
That is an unfortunate day that you've had. May he drown.
I don't think he would be welcome.
Well, I don't think it's about whether or not he's welcome, is it? It's about what he deserves.
Oh, he
Oh,
will get that for sure.
one can only hope. How have things been? I know the meeting was disturbed. I'm wrapping. Oh, this is going to hurt slightly.
By the
Position it
way,
back into
is
place.
Leander's bracelet out?
Um, he's not wearing it, but I think when he opened his bag, one of the things he took out was the bracelet, and it is casually kind of
Hmm.
tucked slightly under the bag, but visible as he is working.
Yeah. And now, through gritted teeth, the worker who introduces himself as Hector, by the way, at some point during this, not wearing that openly yet, are you?
Not particularly a good idea when sometimes I have to deal with bobbies, is it?
Think they know about it.
Well, you tell me.
Well, I think they know that something is happening at the docks. They've been putting the pressure on, but I don't think they understand what they're dealing with, no.
That part I would agree with. So, I've had a thought, which is what if there was a way to have a permanent arrangement that allowed you all to be left alone more? What do you think what can you tell me would be helpful in making such an arrangement? And I want to do an information move because I want to get closer to being able to make a long-term arrangement with the wet god.
Yeah.
I think that's where are my stats? So is this gonna be reason then?
Since you're trying to get something out of him that would normally be presence, but you're rolling with advantage.
Okay, cool.
So
Worst stat. Let's
yeah,
go.
I know.
It's fine. I believe in you. Roll with all the confidence of that's bad, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
I think it went well, guys. I think we're good.
I think it was
Yeah.
great.
how,
Absolutely.
how many
Can
dice did you
someone-
roll? How many
Oh
dice?
wait, I have advantage. Wait.
Yeah, you
Okay,
do.
I only rolled 2. How many am I supposed to do? I roll how many? Do I roll 3 or do I roll 2
It's
more?
3 keep high.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna have to be real good in order to help. No!
Was it worse?
Welcome back,
With
Leander.
advantage. With advantage. What's 5 minus 1?
That's 4.
No.
Oh
That's
my.
not enough. Yeah.
I mean, that's enough if you squint real hard. It can look like a 9.
That's
So
some ash math.
I fail that. Because that is yeah, I don't. There's nothing I can do. This is not. It's day phase. This is not worth a mask.
I mean, it would help, but
We can find other
It-
clues. Like we'll yeah.
yeah, I don't have. Yeah, because it's already day phase. Yeah, I'm just stuck. I'm stuck. It's a 4 because it's presence.
well, by the way, you can, we figured out last time, use multiple masks in a session. I just want to say that.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna use mask.
Good. Otherwise, I was going to say otherwise. Yeah, he's not going to be very kind to you, and I think that might end up with a condition.
No, I'm gonna use a mask on
Yeah.
this. It's a mask of the past, right?
I think technically you can pick any mask that you want, but you should pick that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Narrate a flashback to life before you met your liege. Okay. I think as Leander is working on this on Hector and asking him for this information, he's wrapping this arm, and he remembers being in a small house in a very 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 poor town, and a sibling, his little brother, sitting him on just on a small cot, and there's light streaming through the windows, and even though it's a small house, it's a poor area, there's so many beautiful sounds, and it's loud but in a welcoming way, in the way Leander used to find the hospital loud but welcoming. But he's looking down at his sibling, at his brother, and just saying, now you know, next time you climb a tree, you're going to have to be far more careful. We cannot afford a hospital trip. And His accent is different. He's in plain clothes, cut at the bottoms, like he's been wading through water or something. And his eyes are kind and soft as he looks on his brother and sets this arm, his brother wincing, but taking it like a champ. And as Leander finishes, he walks over into the kitchen and grabs a mango and slices it very precisely, delicately, with absolute steady hands, slices it into the chunks, pops the skin, hands half to his brother, and says, "You're all set. No trees for a while, though." And his brother runs out into the hot, blaring Nigerian sun.
Right. Then Hector at some point looks at you. Doctor, are you quite there? Seem
Yes, of course. I done so many bones, it sometimes just almost meditative.
right. Well, see, I'm not sure if you're really on our side. Would help if you wore the bracelet openly. Instead, you're here sitting in front of me, fancy suit and all.
Would you prefer there not be a doctor who cares about you here?
I would prefer there being a doctor that I know I can trust, but I'm going to take
Putting
a
on the
little
bracelet would
chance.
help you trust me.
Of course.
All right. And then you'll let me help you.
I will help you achieve what you said you want.
All right. Leander's going to take the bracelet
Mm-hmm.
and's gonna roll up his sleeve and is going to put it on. I've got no problem with the bracelet.
You seemed a bit reluctant to put it on, but anyway. He just starts sifting through his pockets. And takes out what looks to be a crab. You could swear that it moves, but it doesn't. It's it seems to be just the shell of a crab, bound with red thread together with some kind of wooden beads, driftwood, and bones. Puts it in your hand. This won't help you. But when you figure out how you can make your own, that is.
Fair enough.
And you get the obvious sense that this is in some way personal to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is he offering it to me or is he just showing?
I mean, Well, he's going to let you keep it, let's say. But it won't, but you will have to make your own kind of ritual charm.
Okay. I look at it. I say, this seems rather personal. You sure you want me to keep this?
It has done what it needed to do for me.
Fair enough. Would you like any to-goes? Your arm is finished.
I think I'm all right. Thanks, Doctor.
Hector, one moment. And I grab like a little pharmacy bag. I put a couple of pills and I also slip some cash into it. Doctor's orders. You're going to need to rest your arm. And I hand it to him.
Appreciate it. Wasn't sure I was going to work with that.
Well, now you don't have to worry, do you? Sometimes fancy clothes have the uses.
Fine. Point taken. He walks off, and you will soon after leave the hospital.
Mhm. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna go find the rest of Hargrave House.
I was going to
before
say
I
you
leave.
all eventually you
Araxi
leave together.
actually
Yeah.
intoxicated. Like,
Yeah.
Ash's face is
Araxi,
less puffy.
yeah. Ash looks only half beat up now. Uh, how is Nolani feeling specifically? Which is me asking essentially, did you clear the mesmerized condition?
Yeah, I had to talk to Raxi about my childhood while
Yeah.
she was drunk. she's she's a little unnerved, and also really, really disgusted. She hates the feeling of somebody being like, no, you're mine now. She's like, ugh. So she's angry.
Right. Well, after your stay at the hospital for, well, this entire treatment probably took a few hours. What now? Where do you go next?
To the docks.
To the dogs, yeah. Anybody else doing anything different, or are we all going to the docks?
To the docks.
To the docks, okay.
Yep.
Well, as you arrive at the docks, things have definitely changed here. It is all a bit more tense. You see more police running around. Some of them eyeing you a little suspiciously, and as you pass two workers, not wearing bracelets, by the way, you just pick up a whisper of, you hear they fished him out of the water finally? He must have been dead for days. Yeah, I wonder what happened to him. He's always been, collecting all the bribes from whoever he could. Yeah, I just didn't think anybody would actually do it. And then they notice you are there and immediately stop talking and walk away at a very brisk pace.
sounds like we should find whoever's been killed.
I think so.
Well, you approach the docks proper. As always, there is an enormous amount of ships, but there isn't as much work being done as usual. Instead, you see first, you see essentially two things. The first is to your left, let's say, police officers corralling a few of the workers. Many of them have the bracelets, but not all of them again. Led by a police officer wearing the uniform of an inspector. And then a little to the side, to your right now, there is, you're not sure. There's just a small kind of group of huddled people, policemen, as well as a few workers, and you hear an agitated voice, then another. There's some discussion going on there. You can't really make it out.
There's not much we can do if they're already getting arrested, and I'm gonna head towards the agitated voices on our right.
Well, you approach, you see a harbor master. You see the harbor master from earlier, and you also see a few police officers. And then there also is a small, withered-looking man, full white beard, wearing a suit. And he is the one in possession of one of the agitated voices. And you can't just take people off the streets and lock them up, and then beating them up at night. You have to release them, or trust me, I will hire lawyers that they couldn't afford otherwise, and you will be forced to set them free again. A few of the bobbies nearby seem a bit unsettled and almost like they agree with him. But the harbor master and officer of the Metropolitan Police nearby don't seem convinced by that at all. The harbor master specifically, now look, there's been so much of a general unpleasantness and now also murder at the docks. Certainly, steps must be taken. And again, the man just, what steps must be taken when they are not even covered by the law at all? I mean, steps that completely disregard habeas corpus or anything else? And that's exactly is where you can come in now, yeah?
Yeah. Can I cover my water so my cat doesn't drink it? Sorry. Can I make an information move to try and look for a clue about this guy that's yelling about habeas corpus, to try and figure out like his affiliation?
No, that's
Okay.
not really what the move is for. You can only check for clues related to a threat. But I can tell you he's not wearing a bracelet openly.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like he has the telltale signs of like having been like a lot of sun exposure or like a lot of hard labor, or is he like rich?
He yes, to both. As Rexy, as you look closer, and I will let you perhaps even roll a day move to get some extra anything out of this.
I don't know if you
Um,
want me to roll, but
this would be composure to kind of shadow him a little bit. If you want, there's information that I give you for free. What did you roll? You can back out of this. It's a day move.
I rolled a 5, so I think I'm gonna back out of that.
Okay. Yeah, there are a few things you notice about him. He's very small, like 5'2". Usually, a man at his age of that height is, has a past in the mines. He's also just, he looks somewhat withered. He looks like somebody who, especially when you hear his voice, which is cracking sometimes, but still very much energetic, he looks like he probably aged beyond his years very quickly. But he also wears a very fine suit. So it seems like whatever his past, now he has resources. And you also notice, this is your little thing for the day move. There are a few people, 2 men to be exact, leaning, well, one of them is leaning against the wall, the other is leaning against the back of his wheelchair. To the side, next to a building, watching this scene. One of them is massive. The frame of a prize bull, sunburned skin, simple workers' clothes, but looks like absolutely just. He looks like an enforcer. How good is Araxi's eyesight?
Probably pretty good.
Right. It's if you're close by enough, you could see that there's just a spider web of, not related to the seamstress, by the way, of just tiny scars on his arms. And also, if you were to get a closer look at his knuckles, this is maybe just for us, but if you were to get a closer look at his knuckles here, you would see marks there left by teeth over the years. Next to him is, in his wheelchair, a somewhat boyish looking man, still probably over the age of 30, looking on, well, seemingly relaxed, but to an experienced hunter like Araxi, you would see that this man is ready to go at any moment. Both of them, really. So it seems like your man here, the older man in the suit, has brought some backup in case he needs it.
Araxi is listening and trying to take this all in, and she's going to. I clear my throat and kind of will step forward to enter into like the kind of immediate space of the argument happening between like the harbor master and our mysterious man. And I'll say, gentlemen, it sounds like there's been a request for the warrants that should be present when any citizen is arrested. It's simple enough to produce.
And who are you to ask for these warrants then? Just an older police officer that has been nearby just looks over to you.
I am here in order to ensure the peace, that's all.
You are aware that we are the police?
And
Leander
I'm here
takes
to
out
ensure the peace.
Leander takes out the letter that we carry and just
Mhm.
says, Yes, we are aware.
Oh, of course, I had heard you had involved yourselves here.
We're
Listen,
on your side. We want to make sure that everything here is calm and nothing is disturbed.
do you truly believe that this investigation or this case here of dock workers rousing themselves into open acts of rebellion concerns you?
It does when people have been being killed at the docks.
But this is not
When
a murder investigation. It is concerning the arrest of several rebel rousers who
and what rabble did they rouse?
just
Unless
points over to the rounded up
Given
dock workers.
given the amount of your given the amount of workers versus your men that I've been seeing in the hospital, I would say they're losing quite badly. I haven't had to mend nearly as many broken bones of officers.
Of course, they are losing. The point is, are they continuing to disturb the peace here? And
So you
well,
have it in hand, it sounds. Or do you not?
we have it in hand, obviously. But
Wonderful. Then there should be no issue, yes?
exactly, that's why you can leave.
Is
Oh, no, I meant no issue for you. There's very clearly still people rising out of the water.
is Satya in the group of people getting arrested?
No.
That's good.
Can I'm gonna turn to the angry old man. Uh Pardon me, sir. Are you a representative of the dock workers?
I am not a representative of the dock workers themselves. They represent, well, the dock workers represent the dock workers. I am here to help them.
May I ask what your interest is?
You may. At a time when I am not currently trying to affect the release of dock workers,
Understood. Now, I'm just gonna take a minute to study the dock workers
Can
while other people
I?
take care of this.
Can I? So here, okay, I'm gonna explain my intent basically, which is I have a move called In Want of Privilege. I took it when I leveled. And it says that I can try to leverage my family's name either to gain information or assistance. Can I try to leverage my family name to convince the investigators to leave, like, maybe not leave the docks for the day, but like leave these workers and like leave us for the moment? It says I roll with
in this
presence.
case, yes, you can.
Okay.
They won't all disappear, but you can try to get some assistance out of the ones right in front of you. Yes.
I'm gonna change my dice because the last ones did not serve me
Hey,
well.
you can always put on a mask. It's fine.
Okay, that's. It could have been worse. I could have rolled a lot worse. I think a 6 is technically a success.
No.
Well, no,
No,
because oh fuck, it's not, is it? It has to be 7 or
no,
above.
it's 7.
Do I use a mask for this?
Yeah, you
Do it.
do.
If you fail here,
Well, it
well,
says because of my move though.
yeah.
On a 7 or 9, the person has a history with my family and will assist
Okay.
us, but they require something in return, and you can say what.
Okay, that's a special move thing.
Yes.
You're not rolling day move or anything. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm rolling a special thing.
Okay.
Um, I mean, if we can use multiple masks in a day, I'll blow it. I'll use a mask. Sure. Um, so mine is narrate a flashback to your childhood that shows the first hunt you went on and what about it disturbed you. When I was a when I was a young girl, the very first hunt I went on was actually with my biological family before they died. We were a sort of country living situation where it was still quite common to go hunting for, meat to help feed the family, especially in a more farming community. And my despite being, a girl and not necessarily traditional to teach girls how to go hunting, my father one day I convinced him to let me join. And we spent all day trying to track and follow this herd of deer. And finally, we caught up with them. And I can remember being barely able to even hold the rifle as my father pointed out a an older looking deer, one that was walking with a little bit of a hobble, and he said, whispered to me, really, shoot that one so that the rest of the herd will live. Then in future years, we'll still have more to eat. And I looked down the sight on the rifle and pointed it at the deer, taking a deep breath. And right as I was about to pull the trigger, it seemed to look at me, look in my direction. And in that moment, I could swear that it knew what was about to happen. And it knew that there was nothing it could do. But even though I could feel the weight of its eyes on me, it was us or them. So I pulled the trigger, even though, well, I've never forgotten that day.
Right. And you know what? I think with that, we'll go on break and see how this is resolved in 10 minutes. So, see you then. Hello. Welcome back. Yes, the head is still wiggling. We return to the docks. I'm not going to do a whole introduction or anything. We're back at the docks. So, Araxi, there's this just older police officer who seems to be familiar with Hargrave House to some extent. How do you bring up your family name here?
I will kind of sense that he is the target, the weak link here, and I'll go up to him. I'll maintain, a respectful distance, but I'm clearly going to him. And I, look him in the eyes, and I'm just like, if you know of Hargrave House, then you know of the Justice family, and you know that these sort of matters are our business. And you would know that it is best to not get in a justice's way.
Listen, this is at the moment a police investigation into, I would at least hope, fairly mundane goings on.
I would not be here if it was mundane. We both know that.
We have, of course,
If you
yes,
would
we
like,
have, of course, been aware that there are certain sightings in the area and so on. Maybe they are tied to this uprising. Very well, we will let you do your work, but first, I would like to know what you suspect is going on here.
To the best of our knowledge, there is an outside force that is causing all of the commotion, all of the disturbance that you were describing. And as soon as we have this resolved, you should see that things are peaceful again.
You know, if one of my men had beaten a man to death in the streets, this is exactly how I would word a report. Say as little as possible to describe the worst possible things. Would you perhaps like to give me some actual information? And that is what he expects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what he wants. I will say that this is it's a creature that I'm not quite sure of its origins. It changes form depending on who looks at it, which makes it, as you can imagine, quite difficult to describe. But what we have noticed is that if it sees you as a friend or foe, your vision will change. If any of your men have seen something disturbing at the docks, that might be why.
Very Well, that at least gives us something to watch out for. Too late for Officer Ambrose, but you will no doubt hear about that very soon anyway. We will let you do your work here.
Thank you. Again,
And
you
they will
understand.
leave.
We want the same thing. We want this resolved.
Of course. You see also the man in his suit, the bearded older man, has completely dropped the issue of freeing any workers and instead just through narrowed eyes looks at all of you. And when the police are gone, his two, let's say friends,
Friends.
the
Yeah.
the massive guy and the wheelchair bound, just come on over. Well, I was trying to get some popular support here for, well, against the police, really. Interesting how you showed up.
Yeah, I think they're about 5 seconds from arresting you, mate. I'm gonna drink, and I'm almost out, and I'm just like,
And he just begins to cough as he laughs. You see just some kind of,
Nasty cough.
oh, I was just about to say something just blackish comes out.
nasty cough.
This man's lungs are fucked. But anyway,
You're not.
they would not have trust me.
I. No offense intended, sir, but how would you have stopped them?
Leander laughs. Leander actually laughs when Ash says that and very pointedly looks around. Like,
Oh, trust me. I would not have stopped them. They simply would not have done it.
Well, now
If
that
you
we have our
understand.
peacocking out of the way, I'm Araxi Justice, as you heard, and we really are here to try to fix things and resolve them, but we're trying to do this without people being brutally murdered in the streets or beaten by cops. What is this about a murder exactly?
Oh, right. The sensation that brought them, brought the Metropolitan Police out. Yes, Hadley Ambrose, one of their prime members, the most corrupt officer they could have ever put on the docks. They finally fished him out today. He must have been dead for days. I do not keep that close an eye on proceedings here. The massive man just cracks his knuckles. From the looks of it, I would say 3 days. Seen people, wash up like that.
Glance at Nolani.
She looks back and I'll tell you later.
Right. Did you know him?
By reputation, not personally.
Well, I'm afraid he's already been carried off by his fellow police officers.
That's fine. Where did they fish him out?
Just gestures around
Okay, so you
the
don't know.
water, I would say.
Okay. Don't know the specific like part of the dock or who found him or anything like that.
How long ago did they take the body?
Oh, early this morning. This point, the massive man again just speaks away. Are a few good stories about it too. Apparently, there was water flowing out of his mouth, a live crab, even, and then couple coins, then more coins. Apparently, it wasn't even just tuppence. No, it was real coinage. Probably a bunch of his former colleagues just went in there, grabbed something out of his mouth as he was spewing the coins out.
And they say
Spewing
there's no
coins.
honor among thieves. Can I roll? I would like to roll an investigation. I'm gonna argue for sensitivity. Well, I'm gonna argue for sensitivity and see like does this line up with anything I've heard of like other creatures or entities that their victims tend to have some poetic justice stuff happening to them, with the coins and everything. Araxi also still is convinced this is a demon or like a devil for what it's
Okay,
worth.
right, yeah. I can't really give you a clue that would answer a question for you. What you can do with sensitivity is kind of attune yourself to what's going on here. And that would then mean Araxi kind of excuses herself and sees if you can see if you perhaps on your own find where he might have been found.
Yeah, I think I'll take that shot. It's a day move. What's the worst that could happen, guys? What's the worst?
Okay,
Information
now
move
that you
is not a
said
day
that-
move.
Or if
Yeah.
oh, I rolled fine. That is a total of 8.
Okay, well, that means that's going to be a slight complication.
That's fine. Those are
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah. You just a general question first. How does Araxi using sensitivity, which is just the kind of catch-all supernatural stat, work out for Araxi? Like, what senses does Araxi perhaps have due to her life as a hunter?
I think it's one of those kind of funny things where if you asked Araxi, she'd just be like, "No, I'm just really perceptive." It's almost that like that sixth sense that just gets honed. It's the feeling of the hair raising on the back of your neck, a chill running down your spine. And through her training, like everyone in her family is just so like honed in on those like weird goosebumps, like that, the kind of things that other people just like don't acknowledge or don't like fully pick up on. um her family, like, we can all feel when that stuff happens.
Mhm.
And it just, and because of our training, it happens when we're around like the supernatural and like, mythic folk fae bullshit. Yeah.
Right.
Arexi feels weird every time walking to the same room as Ash
Yeah.
and just like can't answer it. And it's just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's just broken.
Maybe Ash is haunted.
Ash is haunted. Hargrave House is haunted, but like Ash is mega haunted.
Ash is haunted.
Hargrave House isn't haunted. What do you mean? Why would it be haunted? There's no
I
reason
mean,
for that.
Why would any no? Who would like have unfinished business relating to Hargrave House and its
Absolutely
denizens?
nobody. Nobody.
Mhm.
No. Um, I'm almost tempted to play the Welcome Home Doctor again, but anyway. um, yeah, you follow a sudden intuition. You see kind of a figure just hurrying away. Looks like a kind of broad-shouldered sailor or dock worker. By their clothes, you might be able to find them again later, but for now, you follow your intuition to a point by the waterline. And you look down and you see something floating away. Looks a bit like a bouquet in a sense. It is arranged out of, well, there are candles burning. Then there is a cross made out of driftwood. There is some kind of charm. Then there's what appears to be some kind of carving of a mermaid. It seems like somebody just kind of put all their superstitions or beliefs, let's say, together, arranged them in this, and sent them off as an offering.
Can I, because I know I also still need to have a consequence happen here. Can I make a suggestion that as Araxi takes a big sigh, looks around, I can't reach it from here. I have to go in the water, don't I?
If you want to kind of keep it, then yes.
I'm gonna swim out to go grab it, and something's gonna happen to me while I'm in this water.
Mhm. I mean, I can drown you as the result of a failed information move. That would be a bit extreme.
That'd be
It's
pretty
not
funny,
even
though.
failed, it's just a mixed success. Yeah.
I'll whistle also to get my companion's attention, and then I'll dive into the water for the extra security, so they at least know where I am.
Yeah. You dive in. You take this bouquet or this arrangement of charms and so on. And for a moment, it seems like it feels to you like you're fully submerged in the water. It feels like you're just floating in the middle of it. The sensation passes. You realize you are free to take this, but as long as you have it, you will be watched by the Guardian. And you will feel its gaze upon you. And also, yeah, with that, I think you're going to take a condition that is watched by the Guardian.
Yeah. Mentally, I think I'll give it back to you as soon as I can, and I will dragging it back with me to the shore.
If you pull that out of the water, Leander looks at you and just says, "Really? Really?"
No, I think it's worth.
I presumed. Oh, it's wretched. I
I'll
presumed
just
that,
thump you on the back a couple times.
yeah, that we would want to look at it as a group. I'll give it right back once we're done.
Mm. And here, Araxi, I thought you were supposed to be the smart one.
I never claimed that. I said I was good with monsters.
Okay, well, very pointedly looks at what you're holding and looks back at you and says, Do what you will. And
I will.
Leander's walking away from that.
Meanwhile, what are Ash and Nolani doing? There's still kind of this scene of dock workers being rounded up. And also, are you still talking to the man and his, well, the three men at this point?
I think I'm just kind of observing them, honestly. I don't have that much to say to them, but I am curious just because I can't really tie them that well to the situation that's going on, so I'm trying to figure out like what their deal is.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not upholding the conversation, then they're just at some point going to say, their leader is going to say, well, it's been very interesting making your acquaintance in the flesh, finally. Hargrave House.
There's a facial journey there.
We have, of course, as it pertains to our interests at the docks, kept close watch on your progress here. Anyway, I believe my services will be required elsewhere.
I don't
I hope
suppose you
that
have any
this
information you'd
business-
like to share.
I have much information. Who do you think should I share it with then, and why?
Well, if you are invested in this situation and you have any information on it, that will help us resolve it. You understand?
I understand. But your loyalties are very much unclear to me.
My loyalty is to the people of the city.
That is the most nonsensical answer you could have possibly given. The city is full of people with conflicting loyalties. You cannot have loyalty to all of them. Seek me out when you have a clearer understanding of who you are actually doing this for and against. And he will walk off. You can interrupt him. Nolani can also interrupt him, but he is kind of done with you for now.
Understandable.
Noah's wandered away to go look for Satya.
More
Okay.
wet gaze.
Yeah.
I'll just watch him go, and I'll just make a note of just his profile, his bulky friends' profiles,
Mhm.
and just make a mental note.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, Satya. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to message you that he can disappear from the overlay now, but he's already gone.
I got you.
Yeah. Nolani, you don't find Satya. Satya finds you.
Oh,
At some point, you just suddenly feel an arm on your shoulder, just fingertips running along your shoulder, and back for more.
hello, darling. I wish I was here for more fun activities, but I do have a question.
Oh, well, unfortunate. But I shall answer to the best of my conscious and ability, I guess.
And I'm gonna do an information move. I'm gonna ask her, what do you know what happened with Officer, what was it, Ambrose?
I'm not sure she has much information to give you here, but maybe we'll see.
Or how they
Yeah.
pick I'm not sure how they pick their uh targets or whatnot.
I think, well, have you gotten a clue from her before?
Um,
I'm not sure you did. The
No.
appearance changing on depending on who sees it. No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You can still get something out of Satya that isn't just flirting and uncouth behavior.
okay. What stat would this be?
Or presence, easy. Just definitely
Okie
presence.
dokie. 9.
9. Okay, that's going to mean there's a complication. Satya is. Oh well. If you want to ruin the mood by bringing up those that were taken and not returned, because they clearly don't deserve it. Yes. Anybody who wanted to do any business here at the docks, well, anybody doing business here has some pockets to line, of course. Here, Mr. Hadley Ambrose had a specialty in going after not the captains or the companies, but their workers. He would shake us down, arrest us sometimes for just the tiniest bit of drunkenness, lewdness, debauchery, even the smallest hint of it. And then, of course, somebody would either go stealing for him or the employer would have to get them out. That was his little racket here. Only ever caught for it before was just a bloody nose once. It was a wonderful day. Well, at this point, she just flashes you a smile, showing a few of her broken teeth again. Well, now there's been a more permanent solution. Is there anything specifically you were interested in knowing about him?
And it was just the sailors. Not that, it was just the workers. People who would have been easier to pick on, so to speak.
I mean, I have no full overview of his business arrangements here, but usually that was his approach to corruption, yes.
Well then, good thing that the bastard is dead.
And her smile widens. Yes, yes. This is not the clue quite yet. She's going to say, you should, instead of just running around here by the waterline all the time, you should maybe come and see some of the older places of the docks. And she just walks with you for a bit. Just over there, you see that? And she points to a very derelict looking church. boarded up windows. The paint, it seems to have been constructed out of wood. The paint is peeling off. There are some seagulls greeting you just by yelling at you the way that seagulls do, that seem to be nesting in a non-functional chimney. One of them flies off and promptly shits on the roof of the church. Doesn't look like much, but maybe in there you'll find something for you. Do you go inside?
Sorry, was that a question?
Yeah, do you go inside?
Oh, yeah.
Right. You're greeted by, again, the seagulls, but also there seems to be an altar made out of driftwood. Crabs and barnacles greet you through the, in many places, rotten floorboards. It looks abandoned, it looks derelict, but to you as a witch, there are signs here that show beyond a doubt that this place has been used for secret rituals lately. What are those signs?
They're probably, for the mundane, places in the floor where there's no dust, um, but also the remnants probably of a circle of salt, whether that was painted in seawater and it dried, or um, they just took a handful and made their own ring. And once they were done, they scuffed it away. There's still bits and pieces where there's um, salt stuck in the floorboards, maybe the remnants of sigils formed out of pieces of driftwood, burnt down candles, um, and what might look like blood on the altar, but at this point it is so discolored that it's hard to tell. And we're not licking that, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Coward.
As you investigate this scene, as you draw closer to the circle that was drawn, all of a sudden you feel this kind of pressure on your ears, and then you hear, somewhat muffled, the sound of a ship's bell. You hear waves. You hear some kind of yelling. It sounds like you're hearing a ship in a storm. Then it passes. And all of this together is your clue now. And somebody needs to write that down somewhere because, you know, that was a lot. Outside. Araxi, also Leander, and Ash, you have reconvened. I think Nolani is out of the scene for a while. So Ren can maybe actually write this down. The business that the Metropolitan Police had with the rounded up workers seems to have been concluded in some way. They have been escorted away, but to work, not to be detained. And you see...
Leander,
Go ahead.
does this look familiar to you at all, since you've been so entwined with the going-ons here? And I'm holding my little driftwood assortment.
It looks like it belongs in the water.
That's not really what I'm asking.
What are you asking?
Look, I want this to be done and dusted. does this look like something that can help us resolve whatever's happening here? Like if it
No,
needs
it looks like it belongs in the water. But if you'd like to help me make something that could help us, I need to gather a few items. But that looks like it belongs in the water, not to
At
you.
this point, Ash, who is not currently in this conversation, you hear on the stone pavement, drawing nearer, one man marching in lockstep by himself. It's impressive that he does that, but he is exactly walking in the rhythm of an infantry platoon. He's, he walks closer to you, giving this. Yeah, it sounds like he is a one-man marching army, clacking off heels on the
Clack, clack, clack,
floor.
clack, clack,
Yeah.
clack, clack.
You turn around, you see very narrow-faced, narrow-eyed man, clean-shaven, pressed inspector's uniform of the Metropolitan Police. He, his hair is graying slightly here and there. He seems to be in fairly good shape overall, but somewhat aging.
Can I help you,
He
sir?
fixates. Ah, yes, quite certainly. Silas Turner, very much pleased to make your acquaintance. Inspector of the esteemed Metropolitan Police of the capital of our glorious nation, London.
Certainly. What can I do for you?
You are of Hargrave House, are you not?
I am.
Right, very well. Then let me cut to the issue at hand here. I wish to ascertain the loyalty of Hargrave House. You've been
Our,
seen
lo-
snooping around the docks many a time now.
our loyalty is to the crown. We are investigating under the authority of the crown.
You are certainly investigating under the authority of the crown, as we all live under the authority of the crown, yes. I wonder.
Araxi, because Araxi's like right there, yeah.
Mhm.
So she's gonna like hold up, the thing that she's got in her hands and be like,
Yeah.
"Yes, we're investigating," and she's like covered in, she's still like wet,
Yeah.
probably, like literally, is like, "Yes, we're doing our job." Like,
Yeah. Mr. Silas Turner is going to point directly at Araxi, looking at Ash. You see, there. You have taken an interest in this case. So much has been observed. However, you seem to be more concerned with fraternizing with the dock workers and sailors, and also seem to have taken a very specific interest in the um, idolatry that they have committed themselves to.
Do you prefer to do your work without canvassing the locals then? Or
See,
do you prefer to
what you
refuse to
haven't done,
ingratiate yourself with them?
I personally very much have no interest in ingratiating myself with them. No. However, I understand that it can be necessary. What I do not quite understand, and perhaps you can enlighten me here, is why you would exclusively pursue such avenues instead of perhaps speaking more to us about our experiences with these cases.
All right, then what has your investigation
Do
unearthed?
not try. Well, perhaps I will answer that question. But first, why have you not come to us before?
To be quite frank, because we have avenues that you do not, and more people trust us than trust you. particularly those of unsavory nature. Are you to tell me that if you were to approach, especially dock workers at this point in time, that they would trust you enough to give you real information? Are you to tell me that every member of the public, ones that may be able to pass around unseen and see things that others may not, would trust you with such information?
Okay, I'm going to give you a choice here. You
Okay.
can just piss him off, and that's fine. Or you can roll a day move, and maybe he's going to give you something useful in return.
I would like to roll a day move just to logic him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I know. I would like to roll presence, but I can see why you would say reason.
No, this is present.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah.
What could possibly
Also,
go
every
wrong?
time we've gone to them, they were dicks. So
That too. But I wasn't gonna say that out loud. That is a 10.
All right. I expect you don't want to spend a mask to upgrade that.
Not really. I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy with, I feel like that won't really give me. I feel like there really isn't that much I can get from him, honestly.
Yeah. He is going to say, well, certainly that the people here are, how do I say, distrustful of the authorities.
Then you see why sometimes multiple avenues may be required. We do not claim that you can't do
Listen.
your jobs. All we say is that there are avenues that we can take, doors we can open, that cannot be opened with the force of a badge.
I will tell you this then. Before I entered the service of the Metropolitan Police, I was with the East India Company when it was still more than its
Ew.
sad remnant that it is today, this hollowed out husk that they have turned it into. And I can see what seeds are being sown here. Just a little over 10 years ago, during the rebellion, when the sepoys rose up in India, it broke our backs there after all that we had done for the subcontinent. And I have often wondered why it would come to that. Now, here is what I believe then. It is easy to blame a distant empire for your own faults, your own shortfalls, your own shortcomings. It is easy to receive the gifts of the empire, but then, compartmentalize that away, take the gifts. But whenever something goes wrong, it is the empire's fault. So it was in India, and so I believe it is with these dock workers, and in particular the sailors were so often away from the glorious heartland of the crown. And you as well, should see to it that you do not stray too much from the crown, us. We are to work together. That is why I came to ascertain your loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You said something very true, though, which is it is natural to not want to blame yourself for your own faults. But thanks for the reminder of everything else. I think we're good.
His narrow eyes narrow even more, but he is going. Understood. Well,
Inspector, perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. The Empire has given, I know me, personally so much. And I hope you don't believe that any of us would do something to betray our home, something that
Glorious
all of
homeland.
us are responsible for holding up. Please.
I. Do you want to roll here, actually? This is up to you. If you succeed here, he will ease off a little bit, and that means there's also going to be less police interference with you in the future. If you fail, I think I'm just gonna hand you a condition. And that's gonna be
Honestly,
bad for you.
honestly, following him for a scene, I'm fine with. Yeah, so can I roll composure here? Is that I'm because I'm trying to keep it cool and calm.
Usually this would be presence, but he's already kind of been lured in, and mainly he has been just an absolute asshole to you. So I think in this case,
I feel like this requires
I don't
quite
want
the
to
steady
set a
hand.
precedent, but I would say composure is fine here, yeah.
Okay. It's not setting a precedent. I'm just saying
Yeah.
this particular situation sounds not like
The shit that
presence.
this man is saying.
Yeah.
We have to not bite him, is the thing.
Yeah,
I am
exactly.
literally trying to
Exactly.
exhume calm and like steadiness.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. He is also trying to just. I mean, he's not even
Oh, power
trying. He fully
vibes.
believes his own shit. But
Oh, thank God! Praise the wet God!
What God?
It's an 11. It's an 11, friends. We got double fives plus one.
Hell yeah.
That's
All
the
my God.
11.
I understand, of course. Okay, no, you've already spoken. So I did not, of course, want to insinuate that there aren't those that manage to lift themselves up. That is, of course, also the purpose of the gifts of the Empire. And I understand that you have, in particular, become a medical doctor.
Yes.
And have returned the favors of the crown in service to the people of London.
Not only that, but also in Hargrave House, I make it my absolute duty to give back more than what I have received. And I would think a man of such illustrious service, you understand, sometimes that's not hard. We have to rub elbows with unsavory, ungrateful types.
Of course, yes. Trust me, after my many years of service in India and then here, occasionally dealing with the undesirables, it jades a man so, but yes, I take your point. You
Perhaps
must
I
do
can
what
buy
is
you a
needed.
drink
Perhaps at a
later
later
after our
time.
work.
I am, yes. Not when I am on duty, of course.
Of course not. I would never. You are an honorable man. You wouldn't drink on the job.
Right.
Araxi looking
Well.
at her empty flask, like,
Yeah.
You're not an honorable man, you're an honorable woman.
She sure is a lady.
Well, that kind of concludes your business at the docks for this day. As you go back to Hargrave House, is there something you would perhaps like to
Oh,
theorize on?
I want to do something before we left the docks. Rather unceremoniously, but I will toss the I don't know, the bouquet of
Yeah.
driftwood things back into the water.
Right, yeah.
So I'm no longer being watched by the Drowned Guardian,
Okay.
hopefully.
Yeah, you can clear that condition, sure.
When I walked off earlier, I would have picked up some items from the shoreline and put them in my bag.
Right, yeah. You're walking back to Hargrave House. This means it is now our we're moving on to dusk phase.
I'd love
I
to
don't
answer some
think
questions.
Yeah.
Like to resolve a threat, please, Alex, for 500?
Remember, if all of you put on a mask, you can also increase the success tier of answering a question. But yeah, who wants to put forth a theory then how this guardian can either be appeased or turned into an ally?
I want to make it an ally. Can we make it an ally, please?
I mean, I don't have strong feelings, so if you do, I'm happy to go for it.
Elliot loves that. Just know that Araxi will argue with Leander about this. We just
That's
be
so
like,
fair.
yeah.
So if the entity is a helpful guardian, which we have established it is,
Yeah.
how can lasting order be maintained? Lasting order in this case can just mean the guardian does what it does a bit more safely for everyone involved. So perhaps less obvious murders.
Discreet.
Or he can just, or Wet God can just have all the shitty cops and just keep them. He doesn't need to give them back.
Well, you have 6 clues. You should really try to explain all of them in some way. So who wants to go first? And this doesn't need to be in character, by the way. It's usually yeah.
I think part of these are this little bouquet of trinkets is them kind of, or was them kind of trying to work toward a collective not necessarily a sacrifice, but an offering, some sort of way to appease whatever hunger is driving it to operate the way it operates, to kind of like have it draw back a little bit now that it has kind of sated what it needs to sate, so it can kind of like pull back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
I think the list of workers' demands was like the almost like a spell scroll of sorts of like this is the prayer that they are beseeching of this entity in order to use in a ritual to make a deal for those items.
Yeah, you don't need to explain every clue one by one. You can just say, my theory for how we form a pact is we do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. My theory for how we form a pact is that we
Yeah.
No, because I've been
nicely.
thinking about it. Is that we need to make our own personal token, something that actually is tied to us as a person, include what we are requesting along with a sacrifice of some kind, and then it needs to be done at the water. I think that and yeah, that's how
Yeah.
you initiate the communion, and then you commune, and then you uphold your part of the bargain.
Yep.
Specifically, there's a clue that is unlit candles floating in the dark green water.
Yes.
I've already told you this. One of you needs to drown.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just like, remember I said I had a bad idea?
Yeah.
Most of the things
Um,
that come out of your mouth are bad ideas.
Thanks,
Continue.
Araxi, thanks. Thank you. But seriously, I need someone to drown me.
Why?
Before
Why
we
you-
get to that,
Okay,
please, we don't have an endless amount of time. I'm sorry. But
Yep,
is there
no
any
worries.
clue that you can't explain with your theory of how you need to proceed here?
Nope.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
We're not going to go through all of them one by one. That means you have 6 clues. The difficulty of the question you're trying to answer is 6. That means somebody needs to just roll straight dice, 2d6, no modifiers, no advantage or disadvantage, but you can use the, let's see what captions make of it this time, Janus mask.
Yeah. I mean, I think it should be Nolani's role, considering she got gay with the wet god.
Ooh, true.
Possibility, yes. Otherwise, Lamia for first disciple of the Red God.
It doesn't see me as a threat either. So
Yeah.
Right, who rolls?
Ren hasn't gotten to roll very much.
That's
I'm fine
true.
with that.
Let's go.
oh
Let's
no.
go!
Okay.
Hashtag wet
Let's
gays.
go. Let's
Wet
go.
gays in chat.
Well, I mean, please.
All hail the wet god.
All hail.
All hail the wet god.
8.
Well,
Yes.
that means the opportunity here can be pursued. You can form an alliance, but there's going to be a complication.
Besides
The
the drowning?
complication. The drowning is just a thing, yeah. No, you can, of course, all put on a mask to make the complication not happen.
I
The
think we should. I think we should do it.
The mask or the
Do we get to the
complication?
complication?
The
first?
mask, the mask. But yeah, I do want
Oh.
to complication. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. What do people think? Everyone down for a mask?
I'm down for a mask.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, let's commit.
Okay,
I'm
let's
running
go.
out of masks already. Not
Okay.
really, but I'm so stressed.
Okay.
In that case, no complications.
Hell yeah.
When night
Okay.
falls, you can all go to the docks, I would assume together, and resolve this. And I think that's exactly what we'll do right away. We're going to. Is there anything else to do during dusk? We'll keep your masks for later because we don't have that much time left in the session to have everybody narrate something right now.
I would like to answer a question about the Croydon bloodletter.
Let's see if we have time for that.
Fair enough.
You can answer multiple questions in a session. So next session could just have 2 questions more or less back to back.
Okay.
Well, everybody going to the docks.
Yes.
We see our hunters make their way out of Hargrave House, watched by a few spiders in the rafters. We see them pass Buckingham Palace. We see them pass the, generally speaking, better areas of London and go to the harbor once again at night. There are those who work at the harbor by day who, at this point, have left it. Many of them living in more destitute areas. In one of these, there's what is called a workhouse, Saint Osana's home for the destitute, with around 300 inmates crammed in unsanitary accommodations, segregated by age, gender, and so on. Families separated, except for infants. The food is, well, not very plentisome. The work is frequently pointless. Discipline is harsh. It is at night. Oh, it is night right now. At night, it is silent, except for a few muffled sobs and every now and then a whispered, but very carefully whispered conversation. What signs do we see that this place is not pointlessly cruel, but deliberately so? And I think that's a question for Ren.
I thought I was muted. Sorry. The bottom halves of the windows are clean, though the top halves are pretty caked with grime still. And a little girl, probably no older than 5, stands on her tippy toes, struggles to reach the higher halves of the windows with a dingy little cleaning rag that she's been allowed. And a few feet away from her are the remnants of like a stool, maybe all splintered, and the wood has warped over time beyond any hope of repair. An older girl pauses for a second, lots of laundry piled up in her arms, and she opens her mouth to say something, maybe offer help, um, but she is cut off by the sound of like a sharp thwack um, of a cane against someone's backside somewhere else down the hall. Um, so the older girl hurries on, doesn't give it a second thought, or else she might get punished as well.
Right. We see you, all of you, approach the church that Nolani was in earlier. And posted outside of it is a man. It is specifically the man that in our first session, Leander met
Mhm.
and was inducted by. He just looks at you. You have been awaited. Opens the door and doesn't seem inclined to say anything else. Inside, just as Nolani left it, rotten floorboards, slick with just mold. The warped driftwood altar. Perhaps it wasn't even always driftwood. It just looks like it now after it has just been exposed to the elements here for a while. So, how do the first steps of your ritual look like?
Leander pulls out a ritual token that he has made. It is very pretty. It's like sea glass and some shells. It's the biggest shell seems to have a what is supposed to be a sun, but it is in red. You can assume blood. Um, and there are some bone shards also dangling off of it. It gives, and so as he pulls it out, it actually like the sea glass and the bone shards tinkle together, and it gives the vibe of a wind chime.
No, Lani, what needs to be done with this? Oh, Astoria. Sorry, your witch name is Astoria, of course.
Ooh,
I
the
had to be
captains had
so
fun with that one.
careful. Oh no. Oh, I've had to be so careful to not give out my actual name to these people, to anyone.
I mean, just to be clear, you're not summoning one of your usual dark entities here. But I think still Noelani or Astoria is still the one to proceed here.
um, she'll very gently take the charm from Leander, find the place on the altar where it looks like the previous ones have been. Um, Borrow a knife from someone and go, Leander.
Leander hands you a knife.
No,
Yes.
I was going to ask for your hand because this is your charm.
Yes.
It's going to sting. And she's very quickly just gonna
Leander.
slice his palm.
Yeah, before you even get to it, Leah, you're like, this is going to sting. Leander instead of handing you the knife, Leander rolls his eyes and just slashes his hand open and hands it to you. Like he's done this a lot before.
This has horrifying implications that I don't think we can talk about right now. But she's gonna guide his hand over the charm, um, and drip the blood onto the charm in this kind of the shape of a wave, as best as she can get it. And then she's gonna let Leander's hand go.
He looks directly at you, Nolani, and says, do you think it appears, if it likes you, do you think it appears as anyone you would like to see?
No, because I if that were the case, I would not be seeing dolphins.
Huh. Interesting. Turns
Well,
back to the ritual.
yeah. Meanwhile,
Poor
Ash
friend.
and Araxi. There are two things for you to do. I'm not sure who gets to do what. First, somebody needs to draft up a list of not demands, perhaps, but terms. Second, there should still be precautions taken here. The Guardian may be benevolent, but it has killed, and it has tried to kill you specifically, the both of you, before. Both of you, of course, also have some kind of experience with like what precautions need to be taken here. Araxi, you come from a family of hunters. Ash is non-binary. And
Weren't you the one who said we were going to keep it serious?
I'm allowed one, okay?
Yep, you win.
Can I? So one of the items in my personal quarters is a warding charm. Can I have brought it? I brought it with us, and I will give it to Ash, and I will explain to Ash. I'm like very serious, like look me in my eyes moment, and I'm like, based on everything we've talked about, I still think this is stupid, and he might die.
You are correct.
Hold this, put it around your neck, and I say like put it around your neck as I reach over and
I'm just like, wait, what does it do?
it's protection.
Against what?
If this entity tries to basically if it tries to corrupt your spirit or soul or eat your spirit or soul, this will help.
Does it have to be a human spirit or soul?
Don't think I understand the question. What do
Will
you?
it only? Does it protect only human spirits or souls?
I. It's designed to just protect your soul. Ash, are you? Is there any reason it wouldn't work on you?
That is a conversation for another time.
It'll protect you. And I will do like a pat on the chest a little bit, and then I will go and check to see how ritual bloodletting is going on over there.
All right.
Wait, Araska, you need to hold me down.
Okay, why do I have to be the one to kill? Okay,
I'll do it.
No, first. One
no,
of the
I don't trust.
somebody, like I said, is going to have to actually come up with a list of terms here. That was part of your theory earlier,
I
so
don't
now
think
you
it's
also
gonna
have
be
to
a
do it. Yeah.
Raxi.
That's fine.
This is going to require
I'll
a
ha-
move. So the terms are actually like, we're going with a bit of just if you fuck up the terms, it's going to come back to haunt you later.
Yeah.
Leander will help. Leander's
Okay.
been studying the list and everything, so Leander and Ash can do.
Yeah, sounds good. I think one of the biggest things that we want is just a promise of continued devotion and support of the worship of Wet God.
Mm-hmm.
Protection for the workers.
Yes. And also this should specifically concern like how you keep this from escalating while still allowing the Wet God to continue what it's been doing.
Perhaps more dedicated medical attention during rituals to ensure that no more deaths happen, thereby keeping the attention of the police off of what is going on.
I mean, these are targeted
No.
murders. I'm not sure
Yeah,
that
no.
one's gonna work.
This is
yeah.
I think let me think here. So I think our terms should be that the retribution happens more naturally. So like during storms and such, and that the faithful will help in getting the needed sacrifices within proximity for such things.
Make it look like an accident.
Make it conveniently explainable, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, they were on duty during this storm
I
because
got struck by lightning. Oh no.
yeah. All right. One of you can roll now. This can be done. Both of you have some experience with pacts and the like, so you can roll with sensitivity or reason here, up to you. I think for Leander that might not even make a difference. I was saying one of you needs to roll with sensitivity or reason.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll?
Sure. I'll roll.
I'm gonna drown. You can roll.
Praise. Well, if I do badly, I might drown. So hey,
what's the worst that could happen?
Death, literally death.
Okay, just
all
roll.
right. Please, Wet God, please. Okay, it's not a total disaster. That's a 7. That's a 7.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I will not describe what's going wrong here. You can choose to, because I also don't know yet, you can choose to put on another mask if you're feeling really generous today, but
No.
good, okay.
I what I will do is I will use residual traces of malice to decrease the danger of this.
Okay. Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Because you know, I've sliced myself open. I've invoked my
Yeah.
blood. I'm not a stranger to these things. And so I think that as we are crafting these and doing this ritual, I think that I am very careful in the wording, and that I am very careful in not smudging things that shouldn't be smudged and such. So it is a little less dangerous because
Yeah.
over decades
Okay.
I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
sense out if we're veering a little too far into danger.
Right. And with that, I think you are almost done in the church.
Mhm.
We'll leave you to the rest of what you're doing in here. Elliot, second unseen as your business here is concluded.
Cedric Decker is a boy of 11 whose father was a wealthy wine merchant until gambling landed him in debtor's jail. As Cedric lies in his bed in the boy's wing, how do we see his sheltered upbringing has not prepared him for this place? Like a lot of wealthier individuals, he hasn't done a lot of manual labor up till now. And as he lays in bed, he kind of, with the weak moonlight pouring into the room, because there's no candles allowed at night and everything, he looks at his hands and you can still see that they are smeared with blood from the calluses and blisters and just abuse that they have been through since he's arrived here.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of smeared with blood, you have this beautifully prepared offering. Nolani might have performed a ritual in the church, but you can't stay there. As has been said before, one of you must drown. And I will say that anybody who has been initiated before, which is, I think, everybody except Araxi at this point, can in fact be to some extent protected. So can, with the combination of that and the charm that Araxi has provided, roll with advantage, but it's going to be a vitality roll. Oh, no, cannot roll with advantage. That's not what I had in mind. Can roll without disadvantage. There you go. Yeah. Araxi can just roll with
Oh, we should have.
disadvantage,
Oh,
but
no.
it's your
Okay.
best set. Yeah.
Can I take the warding
It's-
charm back and then cancel
It's
the.
not going to be good enough for Araxi because Araxi has not been initiated before.
And it
So
doesn't
your
like you.
choice
That
here
might be
is,
bad.
yeah, exactly. Your choice is somebody rolls vitality, which you're also very good at, with
Oh shit,
no
it's me, isn't
advantage
it?
or disadvantage, or it's Araxi with Araxi has a +3, a disadvantage, which kind of comes out to, I think, a +1 in the end in terms of
All right, let's
probability.
kill Araxi.
Okay, wait. Do none of you have at least a 0?
I have a
I
0.
have a 1. I have a
Cool.
I have
one.
-1.
Okay,
I
let's
do
not
have a
roll.
0.
Yeah, so maybe not Nolani. The rest of you, hey, you can always put on a mask. Let's not forget that.
I've already used a mask. We've used so many masks.
It's
I
fine, it's
am
fine.
currently maskless. I'm fine with it.
I mean, you put on
You've used
one of them
one.
earlier, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, who
Group
wants to
mask.
drown? Quick, first one to raise a hand. I'm gonna. Okay, cool.
Drown me, drown me, drown
Yeah.
me.
I'll help you.
I'm non-binary.
That
It's fine.
way Araxi can stay out of the water, so it
Yeah.
doesn't by accident go for Araxi, who it
Yeah.
senses is not a fan.
Yeah, Araxi's definitely not a fan. I also will say, just for what it's worth, Araxi is waiting and is like ready to pull both of you out the moment like shit goes south.
Oh, that'll be so
Well,
fast.
for now, Araxi, you see them descend into the water, but we haven't really established where that happens. Is it going to be the warehouse, or is it going to just be the Thames, the dirty, filthy fucking Thames? But
I
anyway,
feel like the
Warehouse.
warehouse is probably the way to go.
Warehouse.
Mhm. As
Like-
you approach there, yeah, Noelani, you just see through a window for just a very short moment, Satya giving you a little wink. The warehouse is unlocked. Nobody is inside, however. Again, you have been expected.
Of course we have.
You open the trapdoor, light the candles. And as Ash prepares to descend, I'm going to say, Lamia, give us the next unseen. Very quickly, because we are running out of time, but
Yes.
still.
Millie Cooper cradles her young baby in her arms, softly murmuring stories of the baby's father, a man of noble blood. What do we learn of him? We learn that he was he had very soft hands and a very soothing voice, and that he, while he is not seen her since, that Millie adored him. We learn that he could do no wrong in her eyes, and that they met while she was washing clothes at an estate. We learn that she doesn't know where he is anymore.
So, Ash, anything specifically that you do to ready yourself before you go in?
I will. I think I just kind of look around at all three of my compatriots, and just Araxi. If I don't come out of this, two things. One, you've always been the spider killer. You have to find all the spiders. There has to be more than one. Two, you take care of Luna.
We'll come back.
Then it has been
Well-
an honor working with all of you. Hopefully, it will continue to be an honor, but just in case. And I will go drown myself.
Then you go drown yourself. You step
Um,
in. Yeah. You step in. The water here is cold, but it feels somehow welcoming to you. The candles are lit. As you take your last step down, they are just flickering right next to your eyes. The rest see. Actually, there's something very strange, but you can't really put a finger on it about Ash's hair color. But anyway, you see Ash's lustrous hair just disappear. Ash, you sink with this offering in hand. Although at some point you probably just let go of it. You sink and you sink down. And at this point, I would like you to roll to not drown. Well, to drown, but
To drown, but
come
safely.
back. Yeah.
Right. Yes. All right.
Actual
Again,
drowning is on the.
yeah. Night
Yes.
move, but no disadvantage. Vitality.
Straight roll vitality. Let's see what could possibly go wrong.
If you don't stop saying that.
Okay, so it is a 9. I
You
am.
won't die on a 9.
Yeah, I think I am actually going to drop the mask to bump it up to a full success.
Then describe exactly how you see the Guardian this time and how you commune with it.
I
I'm just
think.
going to leave that all up to you with a clean success. Unless you
Okay.
want me to say something. Just bring me in if you want to, but up to you otherwise, because
Okay.
clean success, you're seen.
I think what happens is this guardian appears to me this time not as a regret, not as a guilt, but as an opportunity to do better. I think I flash back to that moment with Araxi on the riverbank, how we had seen this manifestation of our regret, of our guilt. And I see, instead of wallowing in the guilt of what could have been, I project what I would like it to be. The kind of person that I would like to be, the kind of things that I would like to accomplish. And the promise of collaborating isn't quite the right word, but the promise of a meaningful exchange of ideas and favors. And I think I feel this little ritual token that I had brought in with me settle back into my hand before slowly dissolving into its composite parts, the shells, the sea glass, and drifting down, down, down.
Right. With that, you can also narrate the last unseen prompt.
Okay. So, Walter McTavish is a homeless ex-soldier who sleeps on the filthy straw-covered floor of the casual ward when he's not been able to beg and scrounge enough for a bed elsewhere. What has he lost in service to Queen and country? And I think, to keep it brief, the answer is he has lost friends. He has lost people that he considers brothers. In service to Queen and country. He has gone off to war and he has come back a number of friends, the poorer. And that is really what hits him harder even than the money, the debt, the lack of a real home to return to. And as he sleeps, his hand is clutched around essentially a ragged little rope with the identifying tags of all of his friends and a couple of personal tokens from them, a little bouquet of what once was his life.
And with that, we return to the warehouse where, with a gasp, Ash comes up.
Pulling you out of there. Are you all right? Are you okay? Here.
That sucked.
Are you okay? Don't do that again.
Well, I wasn't planning to.
Okay.
I think we've come to an agreement. Oh God, that sucked.
Doc, get over here. Can you check that they're
I'm
all
here.
right?
I'm here.
Oh,
It's fine.
Ash.
don't let me dry drown later.
Ash,
Yes.
last sentence. How do you describe your success to your fellow hunters?
Oh, okay. We have an accord.
Right. You not only have that, by the way, in your hand, Ash, you find a bottle, a green bottle. It is, in fact, the very same green bottle
My
that we
laudanum.
saw. Hmm?
My laudanum.
No, not
Oh.
your. There was another green bottle that we saw the man you met earlier when he was arguing for the release of the workers drink from. Except he did that in 1863 when he saw his friends that he lost that day getting shipped off to Tasmania. For some reason, you now hold it in your hands, and inside of it, he just cast it into the sea after he had drunken all that was in it. Inside there's a rolled up piece of paper and a message. That message, as you kind of unroll it, is written in a script you do not recognize. Well, you cannot read, but you recognize it as the language of the Fae. And once this gift from the Guardian will allow you to access a long forgotten memory to aid you.
Yay.
And that's where we end the session.
Concerning.
We'll take it. No, we'll take it. I'm
We'll
not
take it.
complaining.
Overall, that's a win.
Yeah.
We'll
Yep.
take it. We'll take it.
Well, anyway, that is the end of the session, and you have resolved your first threat. That means next session I'm going to
Woohoo!
introduce a new one. But you have also gained
Ah!
the support of the Guardian to some extent. Yeah. Let's see who was live. Sword and Key is live again. What? They raided us earlier, but hey, anyway. Yeah, they're live. Let's go raid them, I guess. Return the favor. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I've been Wizard Styles, Yanis, either way. Jamming this mostly serious session of the Between, very much unlike what we usually do. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'm just going to popcorn it over to I think Jen.
Oh, hi. It's me. I'm Jen. I have been your friendly local, now slightly damp, new wet acolyte, Ash. And yeah, I can be found on the internet over at Jenburb, pretty much everywhere. And I will scoot it over to, let's go, Ren.
Hi, I'm Ren, or Renegade Dumpling. I have been Noelani Astoria Clements, one half of hashtag Wet Gaze. If you want to find me on the internet, I'm mostly on Blue Sky under Renegade Dumpling. We do have some exciting stuff coming out. Oh no, my browser fucking lost it. We do have some exciting stuff coming out soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. To keep an eye out for that. Lamia.
Hi, I'm Lamia. My pronouns are they, them. Leander's I've been Leander, who's totally fine. And I new episode of Woke Mental Wellness came out this week, so go check that out. Otherwise you can find me streaming on my channel. And then I will pass it over to Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. You can find me on the internet at Cursebreaker Elliot. I stream sometimes on Twitch. I'm currently reading Frankenstein, which feels kind of apt, related to the Between and everything. And I've been playing Araxi Elizabeth Justice.
All right. Apparently, I'm not allowed to give 2 shout outs within 2 minutes. That makes so little sense. Anyway, yeah. See us again next week for more The Between. Possibly Elliot will finally get everybody to sit down and answer a question about the fucking vampires.
Vampires don't exist. What are you talking
was
about?
made a few times
Araxi's
today.
so worried about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Araxi's so worried.
Vampires
it is
don't
now
exist.
the most urgent threat on the table, so probably we will get to that.
Gotta
Yeah.
arm the noodles of us.
Anyway, thanks for watching again. We'll be back in exactly a week. Until then, goodbye.